and welcome to Inner Circle Guidance. Today we're going to be doing a collective reading, but for those of you who are new to the circle, hello and welcome. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I post new videos every single day, and if you're looking for personal services or personal readings, I offer them through my website, innercircleguidance.com. Let's find out what the circle needs to know today. We have the Empress, Elephants, we have the Knight of Swords, we have the Ten of Chalices, we have the Queen of Swords, and we have the Four of Chalices on the bottom of the deck. There are a lot of big energies happening right now because there are major astrological shifts happening. We also just experienced the Capricorn new moon a couple of days ago. So the energy I'm picking up on here is that overall with the Four of Chalices, there's been sort of this feeling of dissatisfaction. Things may be moving forward, but you may feel like it's not quite where you want to be yet. There's this feeling of overindulgence in some way, and it's almost like maybe the things that you used to love aren't bringing you as much joy, or there's certain mindsets or patterns or things in your life that you're recognizing used to be enjoyable, but they've kind of lost their luster. There's sort of this feeling like certain things are not in alignment, and that's all normal. There's a lot of change that is happening. This particular astrological shift is meant to shed us from a lot of things that are out of alignment or things we've been holding on to that are no longer serving us. The other thing I'm picking up on here is that some of you are feeling sort of disillusioned at this time. For those of you who are falling into that category where it just seems like nothing's really enjoyable, or like the things you used to enjoy are no longer enjoyable, there's a shift that's happening here where you're going to be aligning to a different timeline. New opportunities are opening up that are going to set you on a new path that's going to be very important to this next phase of your journey. And for those of you who are sort of just feeling like none of those are exactly it, it's more of like you feel like you're just waiting, like you've been waiting for a really long time for things to finally come together. You've been taking all the actions and doing the inner work, but you still sort of feel stuck. That's because the universe is in the process of aligning things in the background for you so that things can move forward. So regardless of which category you're in with this Four of Chalices, though, there is this very distinct feeling of change being in the air. I want to show you here. In this card, there's a gust of wind up here that is blowing towards this person who's sitting here with these cups, which to me is indicating there's major winds of change coming in. So with that being said, there's going to be a lot of shifts happening, but it's sort of like we're still in the final transitions of moving from one timeline to the other. We have the Empress here. The Empress is all about stepping into your personal power, recognizing all the energies that are around you, all the abundance that is around you, and nurturing what you want to grow. This is a building phase that everybody is in at this time. This is very much a 4-4-4 kind of energy and a 3-3-3 kind of energy. Fours have to do with building on your foundation in all the different areas of your life that you want to improve upon, getting very clear on what those things are and aligning to it. Threes are about coming together of mind, body, and spirit, working in harmony with yourself and the internal and external energies that are around you. And it's also a very creative energy, which the Empress is also very creative as well. This means that you are currently in a co-creative process with the universe, where the universe is going to be giving you different options to give you choices as to what you want to move forward and how you want to move forward. And it's going to give you a lot of spiritual backing and guidance at this time. It's going to give you the ability to really shake things up if you want to shake things up, or move forward and make a lot of progress if it's progress that you're really looking for here. The Empress is also about enjoying the little things in life. The Empress is somebody who notices the beautiful flower that is growing and blossoming, the little caterpillar that's eating the leaves, Mother Nature at its core. And what's interesting here is we have the elephants on the table, and this is a card that is actually specific to this particular deck. This is not a part of the original tarot. This particular card is about perspective. Down here we have two elephants, and here I'll actually show you up close so you can see. So we have two elephants down here on the bottom. There's a baby one that's holding on to the mother's tail, and they're sort of trekking through the grass or trekking across the grasslands. To them, it's like that's their entire world. But then as we see up here, there's two people standing above looking down at these tiny elephants. This card is all about perspective. This is about if you feel bored with your life, taking a new perspective on the different things that are in your life, trying to find ways to infuse new energies, ways in which you can be more grateful for the things that you have, and ways in which you can adjust these small energies and subtle energies in your life that can make massive shifts. We've talked about this in other readings, and really it was a theme last year of figuring out the different subtle energies of different situations in your life, recognizing the different intentions and the different whys behind certain things, understanding how certain things will masquerade as other things and other energies, but getting to the root of the energies that you seek. Remember that your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. You are co-creating all the time. Everything that you give thought, feeling, time, and energy to, you are creating an energetic transaction because everything is energy. You are creating energy by thinking, by feeling, by speaking, by doing. One thing that's important about that is when you are more intentional and you are more aware of the energies that you are putting out and the energies you are giving your attention to, you start to recognize how your world externally begins to shift and reflect your internal world. For some of you who feel like you're sort of in this funk where the things you enjoyed are no longer enjoyable, there's a certain amount of authenticity that is lacking in your foundation of what it is that you're looking to achieve. For some of you, this could be massive, as in you are pursuing or have been pursuing a career that is not in alignment with your soul purpose. For others, this can be small things like we talked about, I think it was last week, there was a reading about questioning whether or not the thing that you were doing that you're not finding joy in, is it because you actually don't enjoy doing it anymore, or is it because you're doing it with the wrong people? Those are subtle shifts where if you're not paying attention to the subtlety of the energy, it can seem like it's all the same, but it's not. That's what this tiny elephants card is all about. Figuring out the perspective, figuring out the smaller energies, looking at things from a larger bird's eye view and looking at it from the ground, figuring out what needs to be nurtured, what needs to be invested in, and what maybe needs to be let go of or released or returned back to the earth or back to the universal energies to be transmuted. The Knight of Swords is about breaking through limiting beliefs and overcoming obstacles. We see here that the Knight of Swords is stabbing this goose that's trying to eat him through the top of the beak, essentially killing it. But one thing that's interesting about this card is he's barefoot. So as you can see, he's stabbing the goose, and then down here, he's in the snow, but he's barefoot. And he's not wearing any armor. He just has, I think this is a mask. Yeah, he just has a mask on and that's it. It's almost like he's mustered all his courage to overcome this particular obstacle despite being very unprepared. For some of you, I'm picking up that that is the literal energy here, is that some of you have these obstacles that are in your way and you feel unprepared for the future. It's like you're not really sure what exactly you want, or maybe where exactly you want to go, or maybe you have an idea of those two things, but there's these obstacles that you feel like you have no idea how to overcome. What I'm hearing is that the answer lies in the perspective. It lies also in asking the universe for help and being able to understand and be open to receiving the guidance that's being sent to you. For some of you, this particular card and this energy is mainly about overcoming your fear or your lack of just taking action and moving forward. I keep seeing the Eight of Swords, and that to me, that card is all about figuring out why you're incapable of moving forward, but all the restrictions that you think are keeping you from moving forward is not it. It's just your lack of action. Some of you need to muster your courage and overcome the obstacle of fear. Fear is the thing that seems to be holding you back here. Fear of stepping into your power. Fear of being fully who you authentically are. Fear of switching into a timeline that's better in alignment. There's different types of fear here that you need to overcome, but the fear is a bigger obstacle than the actual obstacles that are around you at this time. What I'm seeing with the Ten of Chalices is that for those of you who have really been struggling with relationships, there's going to be a major shift in the way you go about pursuing relationships, both romantically and non-romantically. There's going to be a need and a desire for deeper, more fulfilling connections, which is going to bring you closer to not only the people in your life who should continue to be in your life, but potentially new people who are going to bring new energies in this new phase. On one hand, we have these two people connecting, and they're connecting over similar values, similar beliefs, those types of things, which I'm very much picking up on for those of you who are looking for more fulfilling and deeper seated connections. That energy is going to be present. But keep in mind that if you allow the fear and the negativity to drive your decision making and to drive your life, you will attract people who you are relating to through negativity. Make sure that you're very much focused on the positive at this time, specifically when it comes to your thoughts and the way that you communicate. We have the Queen of Swords on the table. And as you can see, the Queen has taken the goose and has completely shut its beak. Some of you who are still struggling with negative thoughts, you need to start looking at different ways that I don't know if you guys heard that, but that is confirmation right there. You need to be looking at different ways that you can shut these negative thoughts, negative limiting beliefs, negative defaults up. One way of doing that is through the light of awareness. First, you have to be aware that you're doing something, or you're saying something, or you're thinking something, which means you have to be a gentle observer without judgment of what thoughts, feelings, communications, actions, and things that you're taking. Then you begin to shift to where anything that is not in alignment, you shut it up. You shut it up through your awareness, being aware of it, and then choosing something different. There's different techniques that you can do in order to help with this. You can do thought replacement, where it's like you are paying attention to the things you're thinking, and then anytime a negative thought comes up, you immediately think the opposite, or you think of something positive. There is also techniques where you can channel and speak things into existence. One that I heard recently that I thought was interesting. There's a woman that came across one of my social media platforms who was talking about anytime that she thinks something that is not in alignment with what she wants, she immediately says out loud, erase, erase, erase. You can speak things into existence. You can do affirmations. You can do meditations. There's different techniques that you can do in order to remain positive, but this gets down to figuring out your spiritual practices that work best for you and how to incorporate those practices in an authentic way where it's naturally integrated into your daily life. Let's just get maybe a couple more cards on what you have to look forward to here. What else do you have to look forward to? We have the King of Chalices. We have the Ace of Swords. We have the Page of Chalices. This is interesting that we have more Cups cards on the table and another Swords card. And if you'll notice, aside from the Empress and the tiny elephants, all we have is Cups cards and Swords cards, which to me tells me that a lot of this next building phase is going to have to do with emotion, with thoughts and feelings and communication. This is going to have to do with relationships. With the King of Chalices is somebody who can direct the flow of emotional energy. This is somebody who's very calm regardless of the emotion or the emotional energy that's surrounding them. This is somebody who knows how to direct that energy in a positive way. And what's interesting is we have the Ace of Swords here. The Ace of Swords talks about truth, but it also talks about the ability of taking darkness and turning it to light. For those of you who have been struggling or have had a lot of trauma or things in the past, I'm seeing that you are actually going to learn how to wield all the negative things that have happened to you, all the experiences, all of the lessons you've learned, all the perceived weaknesses that you think you have. Turn it into light. And this is going to happen in ways that are going to be very unexpected and may not happen in ways that you could have ever even imagined. This is a time for you to very much dream big, because the universe is very much adjusting everything internally so that the external world that you're looking for can align in the ways that you have been desiring. And what's cool here, if you see the Page of Chalices here, there's like a water spirit that the page is offering this water, this cup to. This is very much telling me that there are not only universal energies and spirit guides that are going to be helping you here, but there's going to be very much a collaborative effort between you and them. There's going to be a deeper connection, a deeper ability to communicate that's going to open up a lot of opportunity for you, because you're going to be on the energetic pulse of exactly what you should be doing when you need to be doing it at the best time, for which you will reap the most rewards. This is very much you need to go and plant the seeds of your garden and nurture your garden sort of energy here. You are being prompted with the King of Chalices to let your heart be your guide, let your intuition really lead you. And for those of you who fall more in your masculine energies, because there's a lot of swords here, this is going to be a coming together of your feminine and masculine energy between emotion, creativity, nurturing, and logic, practicality, and reason, where you're not only going to be coming together in those two energies, but your conscious mind and your subconscious mind are going to be coming into more unity, which means your ability to create is going to be heightened, which means you also really need to be paying attention to those thoughts and feelings and things at this time, the way that you are either positive or negative in your dealings, what energies you let into your space, because you're going to be manifesting at a much quicker pace. You're going to really start to see your thoughts and your feelings being projected into your outer world very quickly. So this is your reading. If it resonated with you, don't forget to like this video and comment your affirmation down below. Your affirmation for this reading is, honestly, this entire reading is kind of about removing all the obstacles that have been in your way for some time so that you can actually step into the timeline that you're meant to step into. So with that being said, your affirmation for this reading is, I am removing all obstacles and healing all wounds that have been holding me back and stepping into a new year, a new era with positivity and abundance. And as always, may your life be full of light, full of love, abundance, and gratitude. See you next time.